Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Tiffany, aka Black Excess Rose. On this channel here, I talk about all things astrology, spirituality, manifesting, and a lot more. So, today we're going to get into fire sign relationships and how the fire signs date. What are they like when it comes to dating? As you can see, I have my red on today. First things first, fire sign people are known to be very energetic. They are the life of the party. They know how to get things started. When you look at the fire element, the element fire, it's a starter. It's a quick starter, and people use fire to get things started and get things started fast. So when it comes to fire signs, they are known for being fast and quick. They are known for getting things started, whether it's a business, organization, starting a club, gathering like-minded people and starting a club. And they're known for starting a lot of things. They are leaders. They have a lot of energy, drive, and passion within them. And you can feel their passion. Like when a fire sign is really motivated and into something, you can feel it. Like you can see it in their eyes and their intensity. And they are go-getters. They go after what they want and they just push through with it. And they have this natural energy within them, this natural fire energy within them where they can just, go ahead with it. Other signs that might be more reserved, cautious, and all that, they might take their time, but fire signs, I find they're more adventurous and they like to jump into things. And because they like to jump into things so quickly, sometimes they can do that with relationships. They don't necessarily want to beat around the bush. Like, they'll straightforward, like, if they like you, they'll say they like you, like straight up, like upfront, usually. Now, maybe if the fire sign has other stuff in their zodiac chart, they'll be more cautious, more reserved. Like if they have a lot of water or earth, they might be like more reserved when it comes to approaching people. But in general, I find that fire signs tend to be social butterflies. They they thrive in social settings and they do well in social settings and they know how to communicate clearly and properly and engage with a wide variety of people. So they are really, extroverted a lot of the times and they have no problems like going up to people usually, and they have a lot of confidence usually, if they're healthy and doing well in life, and just it's in their nature to be more extroverted. I find compared to the other signs, they're usually the ones that are more extroverted. Like I've been to some parties and some events and things with people, and certain events you can call them highbrow or really classy, fancy, and all that. I would definitely not be wearing this to an event like that. But at those events, when you're walking around engaging with people, it's more formal and people are more just formal, stushy, or whatever. And it sometimes takes a fire sign or someone with very like fun, down to earth, party kind of energy, or just extroverted, not really giving a shit kind of energy to kind of break that up a bit and kind of let people feel more at ease and just enjoy themselves a bit more. Because sometimes if you're too formal and too stushy, you miss out on all the fun and it becomes a bit too serious, you know what I'm saying? So that fire energy is needed to break it up a bit. So when it comes to relationships, fire signs usually, they like to have fun, they like to be very social. If they're dating somebody, it's not just like a one-on-one exclusive thing. Sometimes like they want their friends to know who they're dating usually, and they want to, sometimes I find that fire signs go public with their relationships and they want to like have nice experiences with their partner, like travel and stuff like that. I know it might be difficult now to travel, but usually, they like to do activities with their partners, and they like to express themselves passionately with their partners. So they want to share all the amazing things about them with their partner, whatever it is they're doing. Like I said, the fire signs are very, they're in they're involved in a lot of things, whether it's a club, whether it's a whether they're in the arts, whether they are running a business or an organization, whatever it is, they're kind of like connected to a lot of people, and they're involved with a lot of people, and they like to engage with others because they are very extroverted, I find. So because of that, if you're interested in them, you need to have something about you that you're passionate about, like some kind of activity, or it can be, it doesn't like, you don't have to be like a social butterfly or anything, but you have to have something that you're passionate about, something that makes you want to get up in the morning. It doesn't have to be like, you don't have to be like into acting or be a very expressive musician. You could be like running a business, but you just have to be kind of passionate about it. You have to be into it. And because fire signs like to see that within you, they want to know what you're good at. Like, they want to know where your talent lies. And people have many different talents. Like, and fire signs realize this, and they can be quite competitive. I forgot to mention, they can be quite competitive with whatever it is they're into. So they want to know where your talent lies, and your strengths, your weaknesses, all of that. They want to know everything. So, and that's a good thing, that they're interested in so much about their partners. And of course, it can scare people or throw people off because they're like, oh my God, like this fire sign is really enthusiastic and wants to know a lot about me. But they just, they enjoy it. They enjoy learning all the different things about you. And it's rare to find people that are actually willing to sit down and have a conversation with you. Like, I find with fire signs, the conversations with them, especially with Aries, I notice with Aries, the conversations with Aries I've had are amazing, and they can last hours and hours. With Leo, sometimes the conversation, personally with the Leos that I know, the conversation can like mostly be about them and what they're doing. And I don't want to stereotype and say, oh, Leos are all ego and all, and they will listen to you, but I do find Aries has listened to me more than Leo. Leo's like, I was doing this the other day and blah blah, and I'm like, Leo, like, you didn't even ask me about my own day. It's just all about you. And then Sagittarius, holy crap. Sagittarius, you get the whole verse and chapter about who's dating who and what's going on, and all this gossip, and a lot. It's a lot for me to take in with Sagittarius, but they do have gems in things that they say. Like, they have good advice in things that they say, or like, you can find certain sales or deals and specials when they're like speaking. So I don't knock fire signs for their yapping and their chatter, because it can, there's a bad side to it, but there's also a good side. I'm gonna talk about the good side first. So if you wanted to get into a group organization or some kind of activity or something, since fire signs, they're very quick, and they're connected to a lot of people, they might be able to get you into that thing, that group, that company, that organization, or get you connected to other people very fast and very, very quickly, right? So chatter can be a good thing because they might be able to kickstart things for you. And if they're connected with you, then they might be able to collaborate with you, whatever it is. The bad side of their chatter is that people find, when they're dating a fire sign, they find that sometimes the fire sign cannot keep a secret for their life. Like, the fire sign they just tell everyone everything, and they have no filter sometimes. So I find that the reason why a lot of people, sometimes say, oh, I'm not really into fire signs, or I stay away from Sagittarius and Leo, is because sometimes they find the fire sign cannot keep secrets and just shares all the information out into the open. And that can have negative consequences. And also, Since fire signs are so expressive and vocal in the moment and very quick with it, they will sometimes say things that offend people, and that's why they get into arguments quicker than other signs. That's why they kind of get into bad situations like very fast, and fights break out and all this kind of stuff happens very, very quickly, because it's in the moment and they didn't think it through, and they're just so like, just expressive, getting everything out there, and they can actually end up offending people. And I've seen it many times play out, and it can be a very bad thing. It's ruined certain fire signs relationships with other people, stuff like that. And they're like, oh, what did I do wrong? And it's like, well, I mean, you kind of told her some really rude things. With fire signs, I can't really tell people, oh, you should change, you should be more like this, and all that, because people are going to be who they are at the end of the day, regardless of their zodiac sign. Like, if they want to gossip, if they want to talk this, that, the other, like, I can't really tell people what to do and how to be in life. And I don't want to tell people to change themselves, because if you change yourself, it's like you're not being yourself around your partner and all that. But I do suggest to fire signs to be mindful of their partners and the partner's secrets before sharing everything with the whole world and sharing everything with others. I know that fire signs like to, like, when they're with somebody, when they're with their partner, they want to bring their partner into their world, and they want to share everything with their partner. I would say, I personally believe that you don't have to share everything right away with people, because then it's like they just open the present already, and they just found out who you are right there in the moment. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to do that, it's cool, maybe that's just how you are. But I do find that I don't feel like sharing everything with people I just meet, right away. It doesn't really feel natural to me personally. And I'd say, like, fire signs are more open, because they're good with communication. They're more open in their relationship, and they like to share everything right away with a partner very, very quickly. But that does have some consequences, because what if you share a bit too much, and then the person is like, you know, maybe it doesn't matter. What if the fire sign is with another fire sign, and that fire sign is also like that? They like to share everything. What if it's like a Leo and an Aries, and they both like to share everything with each other? Then I guess it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter at all. But what if it's like a Sagittarius and a Cancer? What will the Cancer think? Will the Cancer be receptive to it? Will the Cancer kind of be shocked by all the things that they're sharing? Is the Sagittarius, did they even bother to ask the Cancer about what's been going on in their life? Because sometimes I find with fire signs, they are very competitive, and they're leaders, and they can achieve a lot and win a lot at things. But do they have the ability to listen to their partner? If they're dating another fire sign, are they going to be arguing and competing with their fire sign husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever it is? Are they going to be in competition with them? Because when you bring the fire and the fire together, and everyone, and they want to be dominant, and they want to be the leader, there can be clashing because of that. Unless they know how to keep a balance, it can be too much. So they need to learn to balance and not see everything as competition. It's okay if your partner wins and you lose sometimes, and it's okay if you win and your partner loses. Okay, like, it's just, if it's unbalanced, well, you're gonna have to work it out. You're gonna have to work on it before arguments start happening, before conflicts start happening. Because I know with fire signs that they like to be the boss, and they like to be the leader, the one in charge. And if you don't know how to keep a balance, things can just, not really work out very well. If you're in a serious long-term relationship, then you need to know how to keep the balance so that you can continue with your relationship being long term. Otherwise, it's just gonna burn out. It's just gonna, phase out, and that's it. You're just on to the next one. But on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. I mean, if that's what you're into, go ahead. But I think after some time, it can get kind of boring. It can get kind of old. It's just flitting around, just avoiding the work that you need to do on yourself and avoiding those kind of shadows and stuff you need to deal with. So I also wanted to talk about how, excuse me, just drinking some tea. I also wanted to talk about how fire signs are very competitive and they're good at winning. Now, fire signs have this natural ability to just achieve and accomplish things very, very fast, especially if they're motivated and have the drive to do it, and especially when they're not engaging in too much gossiping, too much drama, and they take their time and they push through with whatever it is they want to achieve, whether it's a business, an organization, a club, their art, their acting, whatever it is they're doing. If they cut off the drama, the gossip, and all that, and they focus on their goals, they have the ability to achieve and accomplish a lot very quickly, because that fire is quick, okay? Very quick. So they can achieve a lot in a short amount of time, more than other signs can. They have an advantage, and they are naturally very competitive. So when they go for something, they will go for something. And that doesn't mean they're all in sports, they're all athletes. No, because that's a stereotype about fire signs. They are not all athletes, and they're not all jocks and preppy people, sporty people. They are competitive in everything: the arts, cooking, astrology, teaching, whatever it is. They have, a bit of edge to them in whatever it is that they're doing, once they have the right passion about it. And you can feel the passion in them. There's no faking it. You can tell they're passionate. When you look into their eyes, you can tell whatever it is they're talking about, that they're passionate about it. They're serious about it. Okay? And you'll feel that from them. So that's why they're able to achieve so much, and that's why they win. That's why they win a lot of awards. They're known to be the winners. Leos can definitely win a lot. I mean, Leos have a kind of energy about them, leadership qualities and energy. They have an aura that's very big, and they can't really put a cap on it as much as they want to. If they want to hide, if they're a shy kind of Leo, there's no hiding if you're a Leo. Let's be real. So they have the ability to achieve a lot, accomplish a lot, and win. Leos do. And I find, with the fire signs, they can start a lot of amazing businesses and organizations and things. All the things you see around you that, certain businesses, I'm sure a lot of them were started by fire signs. And they have the courage and the ability and the confidence to do it, because a lot of people aren't really confident in kind of marching to the beat of their own drum and starting something new, starting something different. People like to take comfortable, easy routes in life, but sometimes it takes those kinds of people that are like, you know what, I don't want to do the traditional way. I don't want to do the traditional path. I don't care how bumpy the road is and how many blocks or stumps are in my way, but I'm going to push through with this new idea, this new business, this new kind of entertainment thing, or whatever it is. They're going to push through blockchain or AI technology, this new drone company, whatever it is. It takes really people that are confident in themselves and people that have a drive and edge to them to break through with it. And they observe. Fire signs are very observant, and they see what's changing around them, the environment, the businesses, like the needs and wants of people, the updates of technology, and how we manufacture and produce things. They're very observant and aware of what is going on around them. So if they're tailoring their business, their organization, their whatever it is, they will tailor it to and keep up to date, because they're fast and they like to get updates on things. I find fire signs like to get updates, very quickly, very fast, so they can keep up with things in terms of business, commerce, trade, whatever it is they want to do, technology, they can keep up with it. So now let's talk about the ego and the negative traits people discuss when it comes to fire signs. Oh, fire signs, they have big egos and all that. And someone was commenting on my video. It was a while ago, a video I did a while ago of Capricorn's love language and all that, because I am a Capricorn, by the way. And they were saying how, like, oh, Capricorns are egotistical, blah, blah, blah. They're so vain, narcissistic, yada, yada, yada. Now, I just want to state this. Everyone has a bit of an ego to them. And without an ego, we wouldn't have things around us like certain businesses, certain services. Because let me tell you something. Without your ego, you won't be able to be like confident in yourself, your abilities, your talents and things. And you won't be able to start a business. You won't be able to do this, do that. You won't be able to record yourself filming. You won't be able to go out and engage with others, out in society or at a club, at an organization, at a meetup, whatever it is. So you need a bit of an ego to kind of like be confident in you, or to see the beauty within your own talents and what it is you're able to do. So yes, some people are more egotistical than others, and some people do have a bigger ego than others. I'm aware of that. However, without your ego and all that, without your own belief in self and what it is you're able to achieve, without that in society, we wouldn't have certain commerce, trade, businesses, organizations, institutions. That would cease to exist, because, if people didn't believe in themselves and their talents and all that, we wouldn't have all these things around us that we do right now. We wouldn't have beauty companies. We wouldn't have people making clothing. We wouldn't have certain food. People, we like to consume and eat a lot of nice food, don't we? And without the companies producing that food and the people that started the businesses that produced that food, that came up with this product, this great chocolate, this great flavoring for baking and vanilla, like, we wouldn't have all that. You know what I'm saying? So an ego is important, because without it, all these things around us would not have been created. And we need that to believe in our own talents and our own skills and our own abilities. So yes, an ego is somewhat important. And I understand when people say Leos or whoever has a big ego. I understand that, because I have people in my family that are Leos. So, and what I would say to that is, if you are dating a fire sign, whatever sign, it doesn't matter what sign, but if you find that you're just like an accessory, they don't really care about anything you have to say, it's all about them, your opinion doesn't matter, they're manipulating you, or they're not interested in you, they're gaslighting you and just being toxic in the relationship, and it's all about them and it's all about their ego, well, you don't have to stick around. You could just leave, you know what I'm saying? Just, if you're emotionally attached to them, well, I guess that sucks. I mean, you need to learn to be detached from your emotions sometimes to get things done in life. Okay? It is what it is. I mean, now, fortunately, sometimes that's how people are in relationships. They haven't been corrected, and they don't really listen to people. They're used to treating people that way. They're used to being toxic or being having such a big ego to the point where they don't listen to others and all that. And I'm not gonna be giving out advice to people on what they should do in their relationship, but I would say, you know, if it's gotten to the point where it's not like you don't exist, you don't matter, and you have no say in anything, and they just don't really care about you, I mean, I wouldn't stick around personally. So, you know, unless you're getting something out of it, you know, or it's helping you in any way, why are you staying in that relationship? It doesn't matter what sign it is. That, like, there has to be a mutual exchange between you and that person in the relationship, be it emotional, be it, you know, business wise, whatever it is, there needs to be an exchange of energy. So if it's not helping you in any way, just don't bother sticking around, you know, because there's so many other people out there and you might be just wasting your time. So yeah. Yeah, but fire signs make really good partners, really great, wonderful partners. And like I said, they are very expressive and all that. Now, in terms of who they go for, you have, like I said, you have to be doing something with your life that is that you're passionate about and that you're really interested in, because they want to know like what you're into. They want to know certain things about you and all that. So you have to have something that you're passionate about, that you're driven and motivated about. And even if you have many different things, that's still intriguing to them. That's still intriguing to fire signs, because like even for myself, like I'm not just into astrology. I love cooking, I love baking, I love traveling, you know, art and culture, dance. I love so many different things, and I'm just eclectic like that, you know. I just like trying out different things in life and everything to do with arts and creation. So I definitely am a foodie. Like I love to cook and all that, and I can talk about food for hours with people. So when I talk about passionate and all that, you can be passionate in the arts, you can be passionate about childcare, you can be passionate about criminology, psychology. Just have something that you're passionate about, you know, that you can talk to with them. You can share with them, like, and talk about it with them, because they want to have conversations with you. They're very communicative people. If you're very reserved and shy, and you take a longer time to open up to people, just tell them, I'm just more of a shy, reserved person, and it can work out. You know, it with a fire sign that's extroverted can definitely date someone more introverted. It can definitely work out, because like it can be like opposite attraction. Now, some fire signs are more, they do prefer to date more extroverted people, and they feel more comfortable dating extroverted people. Unfortunately, some fire signs some fire signs are just like that. They will only date more extroverted people, and that's okay, you know, because you can still find a fire sign that is interested in dating someone that's more shy, more reserved. But sometimes people just have their preferences in relationships, and you can't really do anything about that. That's just what they're into, and that's what they like. So you might not be able to change their mind, you know, about that, but that's okay, because maybe they weren't for you anyway. Like maybe it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't gonna work out to begin with. So it's not the end of the world if the fire sign doesn't like you, okay? I think that with fire signs, like I said, they can date each other, like Sagittarius and Leo, Aries and Leo and Aries and Sagittarius can work out very well. Now, they just have to be mindful of being too competitive with each other and being too like aggressive with each other, and like, oh, I want to be the leader, or no, I want to be the dominant one, and all this, like in the relationship. They need to just kind of be careful of that if they're dating each other. But other than that, when fire signs date each other, it can be great, because they're both very passionate people, very expressive people, and open and communicative, and social as well. So it can be a really nice pairing, and a really really nice, long lasting relationship once they're understanding of each other and, communicate and can share their passions and just be themselves around each other, be their authentic self around each other. Fire signs and water signs are, it can work out, but I'd say with the fire signs, they need to be a bit more understanding of water signs because water signs they're not as outright with their emotions. They don't usually, sometimes they like to hold onto their emotions. They like to hold it inside and they want to see if they can trust you first before sharing their emotions with you. So they might be reserved at first. And I don't know if the fire sign has patience. That's the thing I forgot to mention. Like the patience thing with fire signs, like there's been Aries that have approached me sometimes and it's like right off the bat, like, hey, I like you, like, let's go out, let's do this, let's, and I'm just like, why so fast? Like, what's the rush? And they're like, oh, yeah, I like you, I like you. I'm like, okay, all right, I know, but why is there like a rush? Like, why can't we just do this like on the weekend? They're like, no, let's go now, and I'm like, like I'm in my freaking bathrobe, like looking like cousin it, and you want me to go out and like go rock climbing? No, 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 not me, not this Capricorn. Okay, but maybe some people are spontaneous like that. Maybe they don't mind. It's just personally like it's a bit much, like to begin with. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit much, but even for water signs, the water sign might be like, and just swim away, like just never speak to the fire sign again. I'm just joking, but I think it can work out between like a water sign and fire sign. I think it can be like an opposite attraction kind of thing, and it can work out that way. But I don't know. I find like who would be the best water sign for a fire sign? Scorpio. Scorpio, because people like to say how Scorpios have a fiery element to them. They say that Scorpio is the most fiery out of all the water signs. And the reason for that is Scorpios are very passionate. They're known to be very passionate people. Like if they're into something, it's like they put their heart and soul into it. Like they don't just, if a Scorpio is really into something, they don't just like, oh, I'm just gonna do this. No, 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 no. No, no. A Scorpio is like diving into it. Like, like they don't give a shit. Like they're just gonna dive into it. Okay, so a fire sign and a Scorpio can definitely work out. Now Scorpios like to be dominant and the one in control. So I don't know how that's gonna work because, like I said, fire signs are very competitive people, and that can be a turnoff to Scorpio. A Scorpio doesn't want to be like overshadowed sometimes, or they don't want to be like told what to do or being bossed around. And I know Leos can be bossy and set like all the fire signs can be bossy when they want to be bossy, they can be bossy, and that can piss a Scorpio off. But out of all the water signs, I think Scorpio is one of the best ones just because of the passion. And when you get two passionate people together in a room, you can like instantly tell that, like you can feel that they're zoning in on each other. Like you can tell that they're really into each other. You can see it in their eyes. So they would actually make a good couple. The Scorpio and one of the fire signs would actually has the potential to be a good couple once they're mindful. The fire sign also has to be mindful of what they say. And oh, damn it, this is one thing that can definitely ruin things. It's the fire sign and their chatter, because Scorpios are very private people. They have a lot of secrets and a lot of layers to them, and they don't want their business aired out into the public. And if that fire sign isn't understanding, unless the fire sign has a lot of water in their chart or a lot of earth in their chart, that fire sign isn't necessarily going to understand like the whole, can we just keep this, can we just keep some secrets here, can we just establish some boundaries here, that the Scorpio has. So they're going to have to learn. If they don't know about keeping secrets, the fire sign is going to have to learn. The Scorpio might have to teach them to just zip, just like other than that, like Air signs can definitely work out with the fire signs. People say that air signs can sometimes put out the fire of a fire sign, and I don't know how that is possible because air signs are very expressive people as well. Um, they can, maybe the fire sign can overpower the air a bit, and the air might not like that. The air might find the fire sign to be too controlling, too dominant, and all that, too aggressive, and might be turned off by the competition a bit, the competitive vibes of the fire sign. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do find that air is a better match sometimes than water when it comes to fire signs dating people. Like, I find air can be a bit better just because air signs are very social as well. They're very extroverted people. So that can be a good thing for fire signs that like to converse and have in-depth conversations, like Aries and all that. I can definitely see Aries dating like Gemini or dating Aquarius. So because all those signs are very communicative. Aquarius is very communicative and likes social, like likes to bring people together and all this. And then Gemini is also very chatty as well. So yeah, they can definitely work out. Just once the fire sign isn't too controlling and overbearing and all that, and once the air sign is actually serious about having a relationship and all that, and is interested in the fire sign, shows interest, you know, and it's not just about the air sign as well, then it can work out. But Libra, let me see, Libra and yeah, Libra can definitely work out with fire sign too. Now Libra likes to be on the fence sometimes with their opinions because they don't want to offend. They don't want to offend people. They don't want to kind of be on one side. They don't want to be on this side and they don't want to be on that side. So they're going to see both sides. It's the argument. Now, I do find fire signs like to pick a side because, see, with a fire sign, if they made up their mind about something, they're going to be like, hey, I don't like this. Or if a fire sign doesn't like you, they'll say, hey, they'll straight up let you know, hey, like, I don't really like you, we shouldn't be friends, we shouldn't do this together, we shouldn't, you know what I mean? They'll straight up let you know in the moment. Whereas other signs might be more like, they'll try to do it in a polite way. A fire sign might just straight up let you know right there in the moment how they truly feel. And with Libra doesn't want to break things off so quickly. They don't want to offend you so quickly. So they'll be polite, they'll do it in a polite way if they don't really like you. But so that's where if a fire sign's dating a Libra, they might find that the Libra holds back on their feelings, their emotions, their opinions. And I don't know how that's going to work out between the fire sign. Maybe it can. Maybe it's okay. Maybe it's not much of a big deal to a fire sign. Like, they don't really care. It's like, okay, but I still like the Libra anyway. I like what the Libra is very passionate and beautiful and a very attractive person. And fire signs love attractive people. Of course, who doesn't? Which sign doesn't like attractive people or people that have, interesting things about them, interesting qualities, interesting passions, and things that they're doing with their life. So who doesn't like that, right? And Libra has many talents in the arts. In the arts, they're very good at the arts and very talented people. So it can definitely work out. It's just with Libra, the communication might be an issue with the fire sign. Communication is very important when it comes to relationships. If you want a long-term relationship, if it's a short-term fling, in the moment, like, communication doesn't really matter because you're not going to be seeing that person time after time again. But if it's like a long-term relationship, communication does matter. It's very important, and it's what keeps things going. Once you can communicate effectively with your partner and share things with them. I'm not a relationship coach or dating expert, and I don't ever want to be one. Okay? Just letting you guys know. But I do know that communication is important. And that's not just in dating, that's in friendship, work, family. Fire signs, there's something else. They're really go-getters. They're really, they're good at many different things, and they have multiple talents and abilities, and they're winners. Like I said, they're also very lucky. I find they're very lucky. Like, they just get into things very fast. Like, they get opportunities very fast. They win things very fast. They get into certain groups and clubs or exclusive things very quickly because they're so connected and all that. And that's a trait that people are very envious of when it comes to fire signs. People, they're very envious of it because it's like, just like that, you got it, you won, or you got into this thing. And of course, people are jealous of it because it's like, I've been doing this for years and you just got this like in 2 freaking seconds, like, so like I said, once a fire sign, once you guys leave the drama and the gossip a bit and you actually hunker down and focus, you can just do so many things, which is great, because not everyone has that luck. Like, Sagittarius can get very lucky sometimes and win a lot of things, and so can Leo. Now, a lot of the fire signs do put in the work. It's not just luck. They do put in the work when it comes to their business and stuff. Because, like I said before, they're very courageous people, and they don't mind, they don't mind if the path isn't traditional and there's bumps along the way, and they just, even if they have a plan and all that, but even if there's still bumps along the way, they still don't care. They'll still gonna. So, some of them work really hard to achieve things because they have that passion, they have that drive, and that's a natural thing. They don't need to necessarily take substances or have any enhancements or enhancers to achieve and do things. They can just go in and do it. They still want to come out as the top dog. They want to come out on top as the winner, as the achiever. I think of, like, when I think of fire signs, sometimes I think of those Roman gods, the sculptures and all that, like the athletes, sometimes I think of them as that because they have such big auras, and big energy field, and they don't usually put a cap on it unless something is going on with them internally. If they're healthy, they're not going to put a cap on their aura and their talents and all that. If they're insecure, because sometimes I have met some that are a bit insecure, and I find they're able to overcome their insecurity more quickly than others, but it does take that leap of faith sometimes, and that can be scary, and that's understandable. But once they get over it, it's like, ooh, they're on to win. Like, they're on to the path to win, and not just in sports, like in many different things. So they're great. They make great partners. They'll also encourage you if they're healthy and not very negative, not too much into the drama and toxic vibes and energy. They can encourage you to fulfill your own passions, to fulfill your own goals and your own destiny in life. They'll be cheering you on as well. They'll be cheering you on, especially if they're like, they've won a lot themselves and they're okay with seeing someone else succeed because they had their time, and they'll be like cheering you on. They'll be happy for you and all your wins and all that. Just maybe they have to be careful with when they're dating another fire sign, and to not clash in terms of like competition or like, I have seen fire signs clash when it comes to, like, if they're working together on something. I have seen them clash, but that doesn't mean they can't work it out or get over it or move on from it, because they can continue the relationship. It really depends on them and how they deal with it in that moment. It really depends on them. But yeah, they do make great partners, and in terms of appearance and all that, I didn't really talk about that. Like, what kind of appearance do they like? I honestly think that it varies and it depends on the fire sign. But I think with fire signs, I believe they like people with distinct features, like someone that might have like very piercing eyes, somebody that might have very distinct lips. I think they like features that stand out on the body. They like, and of course, they like athletic toned bodies as well. Sagittarius people, I find they like athletic toned people, people that take care of their body, people that eat properly and healthy mentally and physically. People that take care of their vehicle, because sometimes people just they neglect it a bit. So I find fire signs like people that take care of their bodies and are conscious of things that they're eating and stuff like that. I don't know what else in terms of appearance they like. I maybe like in terms of distinct features, like sharp brows, sharp eyes, strong cheekbones. Like Leos can have high cheekbones, or they like people with strong cheekbones. Something has to be distinct about your appearance. It can't be too mainstream, can't be too normal, or like you have to have something about your appearance that is distinct and stands out and captivates them. So yeah, and they also like confidence. So no matter what you're doing with your appearance or what you're talking about, yada yada yada, you need to be a bit confident in whatever it is that you're doing. Like whatever it is you're talking about, whatever it is that you're working on or you're participating in, be somewhat confident, because they like that. They like that energy. That energy is like, it reminds them of themselves. So be confident in whatever it is that you are engaged in the moment, and be expressive and vocal with your feelings. Be a bit open. You don't have to be an open book and share everything with the fire sign, but when you're with them, they will want to know certain things about you, and they're genuinely interested. So yes, share certain things with them. Be open and communicate with them, because they like communication. Don't be a quiet mouse unless something's really bothering you and you don't really like the fire sign, or they've asked you something that's offensive, or they're being like rude. But if you find that you're interested in them, just be a bit more open and share things with them, communicate with them properly, because they need that feedback and that reciprocation in terms of communication. So you need to be vocal and expressive with them. Enjoy the moment with them, like engage with them, converse with them, talk to them, ask them how they're doing. And don't be a pushover either. Like if you find that they're bossy and all that, and you think that they're being too dominant and being too controlling over you and your own life and your own passions, say, hey, I actually want to do it this way. I've been doing it this way for a long time. This is what works for me. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Like if you don't like it, I don't really care, because I'm gonna do it this way. Okay? And if you can't understand that, well, bye. No, I mean, you don't have to like, that can get into argument with them, but they need to understand that their partner, whoever it is they're dating, cannot be controlled and cannot be shaped and molded to their standard, unless that person really wants to be controlled like that. But they need to understand that you have your own life and you have your own kind of ways of going about things, right, fire signs? Because that's normal for people to have their own personalities, their own passions. So I hope you enjoyed this video on fire signs and what they're like in terms of dating and relationships. I will definitely be doing more videos in the future covering water signs and air signs, what they're like when it comes to dating and what they're like in relationships and all that. So stay tuned for more in the future. If you like this kind of content, astrology content, spirituality and all that, feel free to subscribe to my channel, Black XS Rose, and you can follow me on Instagram if you want. My Instagram name is Black XS Rose. And yeah, I also have a cooking channel. If you're into food stuff, like if you like cooking and baking, I do a lot of that. That's something I'm very passionate about. Very passionate about. Definitely cooking and food, you know, and I can definitely talk about it for hours. Fire signs. But yeah, like I love cooking a lot. I love cooking food that's not really from my culture, you know, that's not from my cultural heritage and background. I like trying out all kinds of recipes and getting into that, and it's fun, and I like it's like a challenge for me. It's a challenge for me because if I'm not from that culture and all that, and I'm not used to working with certain spices, herbs, seasonings, and flavorings, I just try it out. I try out certain recipes to make sure it's like me accomplishing a goal, you know? It's me breaking through, accomplishing a goal, trying something new, and seeing if I can actually make it up to the cultural standard, like that culture's standard. So I try my best to do that with whatever it is I'm making. And if it's from my own cultural background, because I do have European and Caribbean heritage, I do have an advantage in that sense because I am from those cultures. So, yeah, but I like trying, I like making food from all different cultures. So, stay well, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.